Now, Missy Hyatt has dropped your name a few times over the last couple of years. I don't know if you've heard any of what she said. Have you, or
just in her book?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess she brings it up in radio interviews as a result of the book.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What'd she say on the radios?
She questions your manhood, so to speak. What are your thoughts on Missy?
I met Missy in New York. She seemed really cool. I didn't get to know her that well.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in Madison Square Gardens, I was in the ring. I just walked out to the ring and I looked out, and she stood up in the audience and she stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Obviously. And I just kind of looked at her and I went, I think that's Missy Hyatt. And I went, hey. And then, she, like I said, I never really got to know her all that well.
Yeah.
I met her at an autograph session and I saw her that one time from the ring. And I never got to know her too well.
Were you surprised that you made it into her book?
I actually didn't know I made it into her book until about a year after it came out. And actually, no, maybe that's a little long. Maybe about 7 or 8 months after it came out is when I was told that I made it into her book. I was like, wow, what the hell is this? Trying to bury the Val Venis character. Ain't gonna happen, baby.
Does your brother still wrestle?
Yeah, he does independence every once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure does.
Wow. Any good road stories that come to mind from anywhere? WWE?
Oh, God. Road stories I got to take the Fifth Amendment to.
How about one good one you could share?
One good one. Well, let's see. One good road story. Oh, well, here's a good road story. My old tag team partner, Shane, working in Puerto Rico. And you have... Oh, no, I'm going to tell you a better story. Actually, they're both really good, but that one's a little long, so I'll tell you this one. Al Snow. This was when I was... this is the beginning of my career in WWE. And Al Snow was doing the kidnap Pepper gimmick with
right.
Boss Man. And it was Monday Night Raw. During the daytime, I remember we're in the arena, inside the arena. And I came around the corner to go into the locker room, and I could see down the hallway, I saw Al with Vince Russo and a couple of cameras, and I heard him say, "It's Val's." So I stopped and I turned and I said, "Hey, Al, what's mine?" And he goes, "Oh, nothing. I was just talking about whatever, blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Oh, okay." And I didn't think twice of it, and I went inside the locker room. And so the hours goes on by, and gets to be showtime. And I go out there and I do my match, and I come back into the locker room after my match, and we have a monitor in our locker room. And while I'm in the locker room after my match, Al's vignette is playing, and it's the vignette he was taping when I called him down the hallway earlier. And so I was kind of watching it for a couple of seconds, and he's talking about losing Pepper and all that, and oh well. So I start getting unchanged, and then I'm kind of half paying attention to the monitor, and then I'm kind of half not. And as I'm getting changed, I hear my cell phone ring. And so I pick my cell phone up, and I go, "Hello." And they go, "Hey, man, I found Pepper." And I'm going, "What? Who is this?" No. Hey, man, I found Pepper. Isn't this who I call if I find Pepper? And I'm going, "All right, buddy, hey, listen, if you're not going to tell me who this is, then piss off." "No, but you don't understand. I'm supposed to call here for Pepper." I said, "All right, bye." Click, and I hung up. And before I could put my phone back in my bag, it rang again. And I went, "What the hell? How do you call back that fast?" "Hello? Hi, is this the number we called if we found Pepper?" And I'm like, "What? Who the hell is this?" And then I understand, because I'm listening, the entire locker room is dead silence. And I look up, and everybody busts out laughing. Well, that vignette that Al had just taped down the hallway that just aired live on TV, he held up my cell phone number live on Raw. "Sabu, what's going on, dog?" "What's going on, buddy?" Good to see you, man. Heck yeah, how you been?
Could be better. Could be better.
Heck yeah, I hear you on that one. Me too.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no big deal, dude.
Good to see you, bro.
Heck yeah.
Good to see you.
Hey,
how's it going, man?
You gonna crash out, or you gonna hang out a little while, or
hang out a little bit?
You gonna hang out like up here?
No, he's going down. You're gonna go downstairs for a little bit, then you're gonna. What do you want to do?
I don't know. Where are you going?
Oh, I didn't know. I was gonna do this, and then I didn't know what I was going to do.
All right, go downstairs.
Go downstairs.
All right, I'll come downstairs a little bit. Talk to you in a little bit, buddy.
All right, brother.
So, so everybody's laughing, and then it was Al's vignette where he said, "If you find Pepper, please call this number." And he held my cell phone number live on Raw. So now my phone is ringing off the hook. I mean, non-stop. I mean, I could hit end, and it would immediately ring again. And so I was like, "Oh, you bastards! Now I got to change my number." So it was a great rib.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always one for a good rib. So I turned it off. I mean, that's all I could do. I just keep on ringing. So that was at the beginning of Raw. And so, I get changed, and it was a good laugh, blah, blah, blah. So we watched the rest of Raw. And then A-Train and Test and I, we had to drive 4 hours to the next city after Raw. So this is 2 hours later. We get back into the car, and we start driving to the next city. And about 15 or 20 minutes into the drive, Tess says, "Hey, are people still calling your phone?" And I said, "Actually, I don't know. I didn't turn it on yet." I turned it on as soon as it got reception. So my mailbox is full. People are still calling. And I'm like, "Oh, my God, this is ridiculous." So we have 4 hours, nothing to do. So we decide we're going to make or have a little fun with this. So every time the phone rings, we answer and we go, "Hi, you've just reached the Fine Pepper hotline, and you've just won $10,000 to be presented to you next week live on Raw." And of course, the people are going, "Are you serious? I just won $10,000? And they'd be freaking out. And I said, "I'm going to pass you off to my colleague. He's going to take down your information, and we're going to fly you into Raw next week live for $10,000. So I'd give it to A-Train. A-Train would be like, "All right, now you have to answer these questions." You have to answer these 3 questions. And so we would just start messing with people, and so it made the 4-hour drive go by real quick. Of course, the next day I had to get the phone line changed, but it was nonstop. Literally, I could, as soon as I'd hit end, it would ring again. So that's the power of television, right?
So you're going to be I guess you're going to do more independence now. That you're kind of back on the road and home from Japan and stuff. Are you looking forward to work with more younger guys, or would you rather work with more veterans? It
doesn't matter to me. The veterans are always great to work with because you just go in there and you can be playing cards up until 30 seconds before you go out and say, "Okay," and you go out there and put on a show. To work with the younger guys would be great too because that's where I think the passion will really come out.
Yeah.
And you can really pull a lot out of new guys. So yeah, it's either way. Veterans, new guys, bring them all.
What do you think about Ric Flair going back into the ring?
It was such an emotional retirement, and there are a couple of different ways of looking at this. Obviously, he's got it in his blood, and I understand the fact he wants to wrestle again, and that's tremendous. However, if he does go back and wrestle again, I think it's going to it's going to ruin it for every other guy that wants to do a big retirement match, because nobody's going to believe they're going to retire. And so you can look at it 2 ways. Yes, he's got a passion for the business. It's in his blood. I know he wants to get back in that ring, and all the more power to him. But at the same time, it's going to be devastating for guys that are really going to retire.
Yeah. So you're back wrestling in Japan. You wrestle for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Was there ever any attempt to work for All Japan since you had roots there, or?
Well, because A-Train was in New Japan. It was an easy connection for me, and he's one of my best friends. So to be able to go and work over there with him is awesome. Now, could I work with All Japan or with Noah? If New Japan hadn't worked out, it was a possibility. But I think I'm happy with New Japan. Hattori is he's just an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to wrestling. And so he's another guy I know I could definitely learn a lot from. That's one thing in this business. I mean, you're going to learn something new every day. And the second you feel like there's nothing else to learn, it's time to get out.
Yeah. What's the landscape like over there now as far as the wrestling scene as opposed to when you were there, what was it, 15, 16 years ago?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, I think it's pretty much the same. It's the same style. I think there's a little more showmanship involved
Mm-hmm.
than there was before. But yeah, I think it's pretty much still the same style, the same kind of fans. I mean, it's tremendous over there. I love Japan.
Yeah,